Hi, my name's Nick English, co-founder of Bremont. You may have seen me a little bit before when I showed you around my workshop, but lucky enough, I'm here at the Bike Shed Show and here to bump into one of our ambassadors, Charley. Charley, good to see you, mate.
Good to see you. You're right.
Very well, very well.
I'm wearing one of your watches at the moment, just so you know.
So no gratuitous placement here at all. Charley.
Yeah.
So, well, just for a bit of the record. So, we've been working together for quite some time, actually.
Yeah. Well, we met. I think it was sort of 2007 or so. I think it was. No, was it? No.
2006, just before you did, just before you went down, long way down.
Long way down. So we met there, and you very kindly said, you know, would you wear these beautiful watches? And you told us your story about you and your brother, and how the Bremont story started, which you know, where you had that tragic accident with your father when you were flying,
yes,
and you smashed your body up terribly, and 37 bones
you're catching up now,
and you decided to do this crazy thing, start this company, and so I think you and I, in a very small part, we tested your watches
because a big part of the brand was see if you could machine this watch in the UK, and we'll show you in a second how well would it sort of cope everyday life. And I think going on a motorbike for 4 months is pretty good testing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
No, it was, and I think we really did. And as you say, there's only so much testing you can do in a laboratory, and you can do all the shakes, but the actual day-to-day movements and dust and
12 years ago.
And everything. Yeah, it was 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
So
and so you guys have done so amazingly well since then. You've been in Hollywood and
yes, Charley, thank you.
But what about you? You guys are here in the Bike Shed.
So we're here.
And how come you're involved in the Bike Shed? I mean, or in this kind of motorcycle world? You guys are flyers and
we are, but you know, we love our bikes as well.
Yeah.
We love our bikes as well, but. Do you know, it's actually a bit of an excuse because we love our bikes so much, and actually Dutch and Vicky are fantastic as well, and what they've done. And you meet so many wonderful people, so it was a bit of an excuse to get involved with some. And I tell you what's really lovely is you see, obviously we're building a lot in the UK, but you see so many amazing custom things happening in the UK. I mean, some of the electric stuff happening in the UK as well is really futuristic. But I'll show you.
Tell me what you're up to.
I'll show you. Come on, have a. So just fun, you know, things like this. So this is all machined in just Henley on Thames. So you get from that to this from a single billet of.
Wow.
So if you think of a human hair is probably 50, 60 microns. You're machining stuff consistently to 3 or 4 microns.
So from this.
So these are big parts.
Yeah.
So these are big parts, and you can see how you sort of machine from there. But they actually go a lot smaller than that.
Yeah.
So if I take you over here.
Okay. God, these are tiny.
So we looked earlier on at
8 or 9 months.
This is where those
I got on the train.
micrometers make a huge difference.
So you see a little bit
there. So that's the mainspring. So that all fits in the barrel here. You've got main plates and bridges. So we're machining things like this in the UK now, which is, again, probably hasn't happened since the 1960s.
Well, because the main part of watchmaking came from Britain.
Well, if you go back 100 and odd years, turn of last century, 50-60% of the world's clocks and pocket watches came from British shores, and we lost. And actually, 60% the innovation. You've got automatic, you've got second hands. All these things were. 60% of the mechanical watch was designed in the UK as well. So there's incredible heritage. Of course, we set our time by Greenwich, don't we?
Yeah.
Said it's not by Geneva.
No.
So there is this heritage, and what we're passionate about is bringing it back home. So just smack him.
It's Dave.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Hey,
you all right?
Yeah. No, go. Keep going.
And then I'll show you the one last thing, which is quite relevant. This actually brings the motorcycling together.
Ah, yes, okay.
So this one here is the next few years we're going to be a timing partner of the TT. And obviously you've been
this is the TT watch.
So you've been to the TT. You've seen
many
how
times.
scary. Have you done the loop?
I've done it. I did a lap following John McGuinness once.
And what was your time?
Oh no, it was rubbish. But John spent most of his time on the back wheel, so we were dossing around. But it was an extraordinary thing. He said there's one bit of the road which is so bumpy that when you go along, you're going along at 200 miles an hour, and it's so bumpy that your vision blurs, and so you can't see anything. And I said, well, at the end of that straight, there's a hard right left-hander. I said, how do you know when to stop? And he said, there's all these light-coloured trees, and there's one dark tree. And when you see the dark blur, you put the brakes on, and your vision comes back, and you take the left-hander.
I don't know how they do, and they get that light through the trees as well. So it's
the dappling.
No, it's fun. Will you be going there this year? Or?
Yeah. I think I'm going to fly over. You're going to fly me over.
I'm going to fly you over. Actually, Giles is going this year.
Giles
is there last year. So
well, I might go with Richard's here, and he usually takes me over on a little Cessna.
Anything for a freebie, aren't it? It's just, Charlie, you're a star.
Well done, mate. I love that. And, beautiful watch.
Thank you very much. Yeah. We'll see you soon.
Well done.
Thank you. And all you guys at Bike Shed, thank you very much for having us here, and hopefully catch up very soon.